Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
Sarah, there's a familiar looking bottle on the table that changes all the time. What do we have?
This is Barrell Bourbon Batch 32.
Batch 32.
It's a lot of batches.
It's a lot of batches. They always change. That's sort of their thing. Each batch brings something different. It contains something different. They're not, looking for consistency from batch to batch. They're actually looking for the opposite. They want a new
uniqueness batch
uniqueness from batch to batch.
So they're blending, right? Blending bourbons from different states.
Yeah. This one is Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana.
Okay, which is like the normal three that you see.
A lot.
I feel like.
Pause for cork pop.
I remember when, I think it was batch 22 or 23 came out. I can't
Somewhere around there, yeah. Early 20s.
I can't remember which one, but there was a lot of fuss about whatever that one was. People were very happy with it. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, I don't think we ever did an uncorking. I think we just enjoyed it.
So we thought, with each batch being different, it's sort of like, let's pick one.
Let's do it.
Actually, this one was picked for us. They sent us this one. That's a full disclosure thing. We didn't pay for this bottle. No. But there is no, trade out for a review. We don't have to send this to them. They don't get to see it before.
It was just like, here, have some bourbon. We were like,
opinions are our own, that whole jazz.
We have talked about the dovetail before a lot. And the dovetail and the seagrass. Yeah.
We do like.
We like those a lot. We've had the New Year. That one's been fun. Mm-hmm. I like that one.
Seagrass showed up a lot in our Bourbon Night Awards. If you haven't seen that, go check out that episode. That was all 100% crowdsourced. But a lot of seagrass in that episode. So
this is a blend of, it's a blend of a lot of things, right?
Break it down.
There's a couple of different sets of barrels, right?
Sure.
So you've got a set of barrels that's between 5 and 6 years old, and you're like, okay, I see. That seems pretty standard, right?
Those are
okay,
barrels,
that's normal.
Yeah.
And then another set that are 6 to 10 years old.
Yeah, I think they said 6, 7, and 10. They're like, these 8 and 9s aren't any good, but these 6, 7, and 10.
Take the 10.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
like,
take the cannoli. There we go.
I'm like, interesting. Okay, some 10-year product in here. And so then they, I guess, slowly blended those combinations together.
3-month period.
Right. And then they were like, you know what this needs? This needs some spicy 7-year-olds. So they sent in the spicy 7s.
Which is their gang name.
Right. Send in the spicy 7s.
They'll take care of this.
And they were like, yep, that's exactly what it needed. So that's the story behind this particular blend.
Yeah, and it is, of course, if you're going to put an age statement, you have to put the lowest, which they have.
It says 5.
5-year.
But there's up to 10.
And it is 115.34 proof.
Perfect, right where I like it.
Products are always barrel proof.
Which I really appreciate. If you're going to sell a product like this at a more premium price point,
$89.99 SRP.
Right, if you're going to do that, because we see plenty of products that are lower than that want to be in that price range also, and I can't get down with it. You don't have to drink it neat at that proof, but I like the opportunity for you to drink it neat at that proof if you want to. At home, you get to choose. I like that.
It's a weird type of nuttiness.
It's nutty
and fruity. Nutty fruity.
So I was getting nutty, caramely,
Is it a peach?
I don't know. I haven't gotten the fruit yet. I'm stuck on this nutty, caramely, that one layer of a Snickers with the peanuts and the caramel.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be a really basic breakfast roll, but that has the pecans
the fruit.
Or almonds or whatever on it. Not almonds.
I think I know what you're talking about though. Those little rolls that you used to have.
Mm-hmm. So we're not talking anything with icing on top of it. Just more of a basic.
Those are pecan rolls.
Yeah, pecan rolls. Okay.
Yeah, it does have a sweetness to it. That's I could see that syrupy, pastry, breakfasty thing.
Doesn't smell high
Some
proof.
fruitiness.
Give it that. Always easier to smell once you get a little on your palate. So let's go and do that to your health.
Texture was the thing I noticed first. I really liked it.
What's happening?
A lot happened.
That's a little bit of a noodle scratcher.
It starts out I'm going to go in this direction, and it's nope, course correct. Now we're going back this way.
Boop.
I'm going to need another sip to break that down.
Yeah. There was a lot happening there.
At first it was more bright, and I noticed the texture right away. And then it was just kidding, we're going to go back in this syrupy, sweet, oaky.
With a poke of nutty, a poke of fruity, poke of syrupy and
a dash.
Date raisiny sort of direction. Swing by a little bit of a barrel. It's too much to unpack on the first sip.
Yeah, a lot happened. I did like that description of the pecan roll though. That particular
pastry
what do you call it? Yeah.
Pastry, I guess.
Snack item.
Yeah.
Call the Whiskey Newton. He'll know how to categorize
Call Eric.
it.
Get Eric on the phone, everybody. Not a particularly long finish off the first sip.
A tiny hug.
Tiny
Just
hug.
a little one.
Tiny hug.
Not much.
Okay, you know the type of finish I'm getting before we go in for a second one?
No.
Is sort of, second sip, Sarah, ready to go in already. Is sort of like that finish off of a orange curacao, but dialed down. I don't know. Second sip for me.
I think that pecan roll and I think I would call it a buttery mouthfeel up front.
It is pretty good mouthfeel.
But then it kind of dries out towards the finish and comes into more of a spiced, it's still with the sweetness, like a darker syrupy pastry, right?
This is going to be one of those episodes. It's out there in the ether. Like the perfect descriptor is out there. And this is sometimes how, describing bourbon happens. It's like, I can see it. It's in the zeitgeist. I just got to get zen, pull it out. And can we do it in this episode? We'll find out. All right. Sorry. What are those? It's like a small orange.
Nectarine?
Maybe it's a nectarine. Tangerine. They're smaller.
Clementine.
And they come in those perfect little... when you split one and
cutie.
But when you bite into it, it's really like gushy.
A Tangelo.
I
don't know. I'm saying all of these things which are crosses between different types of like little baby oranges that you find in a children's lunchbox.
That you'll sometimes see on a more tropical charcuterie board, if you will. Like those little, and you pop them in, and it's like, oh, that's a little explosion of juices. I got that in there somewhere.
I don't think I've ever seen like a tangerine piece on a charcuterie board.
Maybe that's something I'm making
interesting. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Sounds good.
You don't do a lot of parties down in Key West?
No. I gotta say, I think my favorite part of this is the texture at the front of the palate. It's desserty, and I know texture can't be desserty, but you know what I mean? Like when you get, it's like a, if you have like a silky chocolate mousse or something that's like rich and full and silky, buttery, it's good. I like that part of it the best. The finish is going a little drier than what I would care for.
Oh, really? I'm not really picking that up.
Well, I think I like so much of what's happening at the beginning that when it changes,
By contrast?
like, oh no, go back.
Okay. Wait, we want to take a quick break and tell you about our home on the internet. It's whiskyambitions.com. It's where you can get this new t-shirt.
Look at that
that I'm rocking. Hats, our Glencairns, Copitas, rocks glasses, water glasses, challenge coins, a new candle now.
Lots of new merch coming.
Postcards, pins, and more always coming soon at whiskyambitions.com.
More just came in
soon.
As in recently. You can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight and join our community for as little as $1 a month. That is where we release our barrel picks exclusively. The chance to participate in a barrel pick after the episode exclusives with us, like another round, and more.
That's right. We'll be right back. Going in for like my fourth or fifth sip? I haven't been keeping count.
I stopped counting after 2.
So here's sort of something that's on the wings, Sarah. I'm not talking about the Paul McCartney band either, though I wish I were. There's a little bit of the nuttiness. Let's talk about the nuttiness.
Let's talk about the nuttiness. I think we need to talk about
the nuttiness.
Yeah, I think we need to
talk about it. In our famous segment, let's talk about the nuttiness. It's not full on Dickel, and we don't know that the Tennessee component of this is Dickel.
But if I put my thinking cap on, it very much reminds me.
Yes.
When I focus specifically on
when you focus on the nuttiness, it's like I'm hearing whispers of George Dickel.
2 words. Sounds like. What is it? 2 words? I don't know how you do.
Yeah.
2 words. Sounds like George Dickel.
George Dickel. Schmordslickel. Yeah, so that is in there, but it's more like I have to concentrate on it and think about it. And the overall mix of things, it's not the forerunner, right? It's in there though. It's
doing it in a way that I'm not bothered by it.
Right.
I'm picking up on it. I like nuttiness. There are other types of nuttiness that I like better than what I'm tasting here. It's not screaming Dickel at me. I'm really more getting that like pecan roll.
Yeah.
That we were talking about. Like,
it's just enough that you want to know.
Right. I'm curious.
Yeah. It's more that.
Because I want to see if I'm right.
Yeah.
Some things I can taste that in and I'm like, that is not for me.
Sure.
And I know people see that and they get intimidated or scared because they're like, ugh, I've had a bad experience with that in the past. Or maybe they love that profile. I don't know.
One of the two, never in the middle, right?
I think that it's a delicate hint of that in here. Mm-hmm. Again, we could be wrong, but
the sum of the parts, without having had the singular parts of it, is combining it into a way that is giving you a lot. Like there's a lot sort of on this like flavor journey that comes about. So that's pretty cool about it. Also at the almost 116 proof, it's not overly hot. It's not real super spicy or anything. So that's also nice about it.
I like the proof. I really like what they've achieved by being able to blend these barrels. I will say for me, this particular batch, like there have been other batches that we've had from them that I have liked better, and that's solely because I really like what's going on up front, and then it changes towards the finish, and like I think that we've had batches from them that I feel more consistently start to finish.
Okay.
So I would say I like it. I would buy another batch from Barrell.
All right, here's how I'm going to break it down.
Break it down for us, Chad.
For the recommend or not, I'm going to recommend it for Barrell Bourbon Batch buyers. So if you are if you're a normal BBBB, a Barrell Bourbon Batch buyer, I would say this isn't one that you would want to skip, because I feel like of the Barrell Bourbon batches that we've had, it's perfectly in line with things. Not the favorite that we've had, as you mentioned, but it's not one that we feel like is completely outside of its normal flavor profile.
That's a good way
and
to
it's
put it.
not towards the bottom of the list either. I think it is a middle of the pack, middle to upper, and actually, so that's why I would recommend it for the Barrell Bourbon Batch buyers. I also think this would be a really good summer pour, because I'm picking up some sort of tropical, the fruitiness in there is sort of like those tropical vibes, not quite on the level of a Barrell Seagrass, but I feel like this would be a good summer sipper. The sort of the fruitiness and the tropical and the lightness would be a really good higher proof summer sipper. If you've never had a Barrell before, again, it's a decent representation, but I feel like there might be some other batches that would represent it in a little bit better light.
I think, yeah, just keep your eye out on batches that come, because there's usually, you can find either the number below or the next number up around the same time. So I would just check out the stats on that, Like we said, we gave you all the ages and the states and stuff for this one, so keep an eye out, and when you see one that you think, oh, that sounds like a blend that I would, like, give it a shot. I think at this point for us, it's kind of tough because they're competing with themselves, right? Like we've had some of their best barrel batches, we've had some of their best like finishes or experiments, like the dovetail, like the seagrass. So for me, they're in the game of they're competing with themselves at some point. So I think you put it perfectly though.
All right, cool. Well, hey, that doesn't happen all the time. So I guess that better be where we'll leave it, right?
Chad's like, don't give her a chance to back out of that. She said I was right.
That's where we'll leave it. Put a button on it. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to us already, we'd love to have you. You can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. We hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay, until next time, drink more bourbon.